So what I'm also doing is I'm bought some of this stuff, this green stuff, which they use underneath flooring for cushioning flooring, and then it's like a sort of a cardboard. I'm using this for inside the tracks, inside the bends and stuff, and it's quite easy. Just cut with something sharp, and I'm making this one to go in here. This will end here, and then another bit of this stuff to make a bit of a hill there. So if cars come off, if you do manage to get past the barrier, the hill will give it, it'll only be a slight, very slight little rise. So yeah, so it's all coming together nicely. It's another hill I've done from there down to there. I have to do a bit more work on that. I have to lower that down a little bit so it'll be level, and then blend this into this. Everything is going to be loosely done. Nothing will be glued down. So it's all removable. If I decide to change the track in a year or two, or for any reason I have to take it up, I don't want to end up ruining the baseboards underneath. So nothing will be actually glued to the baseboard. So that's the progress at the moment. So happy with progress. I have a bit of a production line going here with various different mountains. So first one worked out grand, very happy with it. Highlighted it's upside down of course, but yeah, highlighted some areas with the white paint, with a very dry wipe. Okay, dry brushing, and with white, turned out great, the finished product. So I'm doing these other corners now. I've just put the plaster on them. Today I'm using the spray foam method, the gap filler stuff, which you can see down there in the distance. Okay. Now I don't know if this brand is any good, so I don't know if the foam is going to have lots of holes in it or be fairly tight. I don't know. So what I've done is I wanted a raised section here. Okay, I wanted to have a raised section just between this part of the track. Just nothing too dramatic, just a little section. What I wanted to do is I wanted it to be to the height of the barriers. And it gives the barriers a bit of support. It stops the cars breaking through the barriers, and it just gives a bit of interest to this corner. So I want to have the hill maybe at this height and just sloping down to here. Sloping down to this side here. Okay, so I made this template out of paper because I don't want to glue this to the baseboard. I don't want to glue to the baseboard. So I want to spray this, let it go off, and hopefully at a later stage then, if I want to, I can remove it no problem. Now the plan is to spray, let it go off, and after it's gone off, I can take it, lift it off the track, it'll be stuck to this board, and then tear the board away and do a bit of landscaping with my cutting implements. So that's the plan. Not sure if this will work or not, but so basically I'm filling in there and letting the expanding foam rise. Let's see how it goes. No tripod today. I've somehow managed to lose my tripod. I've looked everywhere, so yeah. So I'll try and balance the phone somewhere where you can get a view of what I'm doing. Now, not an ideal situation. I'm holding the phone with one hand and spraying with the other. As you know, anyone who used this stuff before, always use the can upside down. That's how you use it. You don't use it this way. I've used this stuff to fill gaps, but I've never done model scenery with it. Okay, let's see. It's very hard to push this at the same time as filming. Yeah, I'm going to have to put the camera down, guys. I'll come back to you in a minute. Now, just to show you guys, that's a 750 milliliter container of expanding foam. That's all I got done, and it ran out. Okay. Didn't get a chance to go up high, and nothing there at all. So you're going to need 2 cans for this little spot. So just keep that in mind. I know it expands and it's slowly beginning to expand, but you're going to need 2 cans for an area this size, which is only about 1 meter. Let's mix metric and inches. It's about 1 meter by 7 inches. There you go. Go figure that out. I'm being inclusive of the imperial and the metric system. Don't upset the guys in the UK or the guys in Europe or the guys in the States and the guys in Canada. It gets so complicated, doesn't it? Okay, so there we are. I have no more left. I'll have to come back tomorrow. At least I'll have my tripod. I'll have found my tripod by tomorrow. And I'll continue on with this. Let's see how much this expands over the next half hour or whatever. Once again, I'm out in the garage and I'm doing the largest mountain on the track. The largest hill. So what I'm doing is I'm just using all my off cuttings. You know, I had loads of bits like this left over. So I'm just gluing them all to a piece of plastic. And this is just, it saves on having to use tons of the spray foam, you know. I can do this and then put spray foam on it later. And the spray foam will grip in all these like crevices and anywhere where there's gaps, and it'll hold it all together. It'll band it all together. So what I'm doing is, let me show you this piece here. You know, I'm just putting pieces in that are fairly close to the edge. They can all be cut later. Glue it all down. Add some more bits. I want to build this up quite high here. You know, maybe twice the height it's at the moment. And that'll be the back, and the front will be there sloping down towards the track. So I'm going to use all these bits. Glue them all in. When the glue is set and gone hard, I'll then hit it with a bit of expanding foam. And let's see where we go from there. Okay, we've built our mountain. Okay, and what I've done is I have some heavy toolboxes and stuff just to weigh down the glue. Now I'm going to take the toolboxes off this now. And I'm going to bring it into the house because it's -8 degrees out here in the garage. And this glue needs at least +5 degrees. So it won't go off properly in this cold. So I'm going to get my glamorous assistant to help me. I'm going to carry it into the house. And it'll dry nicely at room temperature. And then tomorrow, when it's all dried, I will put spray foam in all those gaps. And let the spray foam also bond everything together, and then I can cut the foam, plaster, and then start decorating my largest hill, the largest hill in the valley. The largest hill in the valley. It's Welsh for you. Well, I've carried my mountain inside, and as you can see, of all the individual pieces weighed down with various different objects. So yeah, Jupiter's Travels, good book. Ted Simon. The first journey he did. He did another one recently again. Great guy, great adventure. Okay, the standard teacup. The dirty teacup. And whatever, bits and pieces. Just I'm holding each individual piece. You can see I have glue there underneath all the pieces. And yeah, that's the story. I'm just going to leave it here now for the night in room temperatures. And let the glue go off. And then I'll hit it with the foam spray all in around, and it'll all in under here. It'll help everything to bond together. Then we'll have the formation of our hill, and then I'll start cutting. So that'll be tomorrow's task. Or maybe in the case of the video, coming up in a couple of seconds. So it's the next morning, and we have our mountain area ready for our spray foam that we're going to use today. So just have to make sure, give this a good shake, and then I'll do the same as yesterday and see how that goes. Spray it up, spray in all these little nooks and crannies, and Bring it up a little bit, maybe increase the height, just halfway up those pieces of wood, pieces of board I have, cardboard, to protect the wallpaper. Because if I spray the wallpaper, I'll be in trouble. Okay, let's turn you around and give you a closer look at this. So that's what we have. I just have paper because I want the foam to be able to not ruin the track, but I want it to come out and then I can cut it back so the rocks are like maybe possibly coming out onto the track. I'll work that out later. I'm not too bothered about that. Around to there. Put a bit of foam in those little places. It'll also help as a bonding agent to bond all these pieces together. They're already glued with PVA, but this will help. And this, I hope, will stop any glue from dripping down onto the floor. Okay, let's give this a go. I'm always worried about the expanding foam actually. You know, when it goes into the holes, it expands so much that it forces these pieces apart and breaks the bonds, but I don't think so. I think it's, I won't do that. Okay, let's start with in here. Fill in all those caps. Get a bit of bonding going on around here. Okay. Well, as you can see, guys, that's it. That's one can empty. So you don't get very much. I absolutely say that. You don't get very much. And don't do what I do. Cover your track. There's a few spits there went onto the track. So I'm going to have to try and get those off before they go too hard. So that's all you get with one can. So I reckon it'll be 2 cans for this. And I still have to finish this. But that's okay. Not to worry. We're moving mountains here. We got to be happy with what we get. Okay, I'll shake up another can and continue with this. Just a little hint, if you're using 2 cans, okay, that's my empty one. With each can, you get one of these tops. You get your can top and your spout, okay, your nozzle. When you're using a few cans, when this can is empty, use this nozzle for the next can, if you're using it immediately. Because if you leave this on this, if you leave this nozzle on the old can and go and use a new nozzle, all your nozzles get blocked. That'll go off in there. You won't be able to use it. But while it's wet, continue using it. Now, if you only use half this can, at least you have a spare nozzle then to use later. Okay, just a little hint. That's 2 cans. Okay. And that one's run out. It was the last little bit about to drop. Onto the track. Onto the scenery. Let's use every drop. Okay. So I've got, let me just go up here a bit. So I got into the corners there, that should expand nicely. Here, I might need to make this a bit higher at the back. I still have to put some on here and let's go around and work in that corner as well. I think I'm okay at the front. That should expand nicely along here where the track is. Get it to be close to the track. And so that's what I've to left now. If I have to do, bring this up a bit and continue with this side. So I'm reckon about 4 cans to do this area. And the size of this area is about approximately 4 feet by maybe 3 foot, about 3 by 4. So I reckon it's going to take 4 cans of this stuff. So just for people who want to budget how much they're going to need or many cans. So about 4 cans for here. So I have to go and buy another 2 cans. Maybe even 3 because I still have to do here. And under here will be some foam sprayed under here, which will allow it to bulge out, and then I will model that as well. And the same under here, you know. So yeah, I reckon another 6 cans of spray foam will be needed, possibly, to complete the track. But it's very quick, you know. You spray it on, it takes you 2 minutes to spray it on, and then you let the magic happen. And I'll come back to this tomorrow. And see how it all looks. And I'll video how it's expanded, so you remember where we are with the expansion. I'll judge it by this paragraph here on the cardboard on the wall. That paragraph will be my judgment point of how much he expanded. So there we are. I've gone and got more foam, and I think that initial level of that is done. So I'm just doing this piece under the track now. I just spray along the edge, and hopefully it'll rise up and just come to bed here. I'm going to cover this with sellotape, because I haven't got masking tape. But anywhere where there's barriers, just cover it, and hopefully it'll come up against the barriers, but not over the barriers. That's the plan. Let's see if it works. Okay, I've sprayed this now. So it's expanding up. I think we just about got away with it. Maybe this piece need to cut back, of course, everything. This piece a little bit higher, but no problem. I can cut away. This is very much experimental. Look, everything that doesn't work can be cut away and tried again, so it's not such a huge problem. Same here, I decided to fill in this hole here. Not sure if that'll raise up to that gap. I'd be happy if it did, but let's see, maybe it will. Here will be the bridge, so I don't need to put any filler in there. Maybe I could have gone a little bit further, maybe up to here, but not to worry. I've run out, so that's why I stopped at that. But listen, for 5 cans, I've got this piece finished regarding spray foam. A lot of work to do. This piece I've got here done, and I finished off here, and that's expanding quite nicely. A little bit over the track here, which is what I was looking for. I can cut it back then, you know, and yeah. So, coming along nicely. You can see my idea with where there's going to be a fence along here, with some poles. 2 ideas, one my own and one I saw Boone doing on his channel. So I haven't made my mind up which way I'm going to do it. Might do it Boone's way, might do it my way. We'll see. Okay, enough of that. Oh yeah, I made up a few signs from some cardboard and some things cut out of magazines. You know, just very simple. Just a bit of PVA glue and some cardboard and a scissors and a lot of old magazines. So I've plenty of Continental tires, plenty of those. I reckon I'm gonna put them all along here and call this Continental Corner. So that's a possibility for this. Yeah. Progress coming along nicely.